Hey everybody, Steve 87th here, and this is kind of my part two of my birthday haul. We went and took a little trip north of the border and hit a couple of places that I really like to hit up there, and went to an actual new place, and we'll talk about that all in just a minute. So here is my second part of my birthday take. So decided to take Friday off and take a little trip up north to British Columbia. So our first stop was to Pacific Western Rail Systems. They actually opened up their store lately to be able to go into it and do some shopping. So we stopped there because it was the first place right over the border. It's kind of more of a warehouse than it is really a hobby shop. Some of the things that we got in there, the owner with talking to a customer, the ladies working items and stuff like that in the store. So here's some of the things that I picked up while I was at Pacific. The first one is the Caterpillar dump truck by Diecast Masters. I have a couple of these already, but it looks so good on the shelf, I just had to pick it up. Okay. The next thing, he had some iconic buses there. I didn't unfortunately get to get the sale price, I guess. But this one kind of caught my eye. It was kind of cool. The only thing I don't like about Iconics is they don't really have windows. But this is a tribute to Heroes Greyhound bus, an American Greyhound bus. I saw that. I thought that that was really cool. I hadn't seen this or seen it offered before. So I thought that that would be a good thing to pick up. It's kind of cool. The 240th Assault Helicopter Company is what they were basing it on. So that was kind of nice. I picked that one up because, again, I like to collect some of the stuff that you don't see very often. All right, that's not going back in the package right away. All right. The second one was a blank one of the cruiser buses. This is the 70s, or this is 1984. This is one of those blank buses. I think you saw Joe make one of these up for Sparky. I think I might make this into a tour bus. This one actually does have windows in it. So we're going to see what we're going to do with that one. That'll be kind of fun. Again, these were both iconic replica buses. So had a couple more buses to pick up, which was nice. Took me a while to find the buses. This is something that's interesting. I hadn't seen this in quite a while. He actually had two of them. I only bought one of them. But this is a Mini Tracks flatbed for tanks and heavier equipment and all that. But the cool thing about it is this deck, I believe, actually folds down flat. It has instructions in it. I haven't looked at all the instructions yet. But, no, it doesn't fold down flat, but it does. It is a different type of flatbed where normally what happens is when the trucks come off of it, this front section would flow down flat to make it so that the tanks could roll off and all. He had one of those, so I got that. That'll be for a project, I'm sure. I'll make it up for my construction thing. And then the last thing that I've got, because I never bought one of these before, was a North American rail car, which is a NARC Corporation car. That is what Pacific Western Rail Systems actually produces as their train cars. Never had one of these before. Thought I would get one to see what it was. The nice thing was this was a set of cars, and he decided to break it up for me so that I could just get the one. The nice thing is and I'll leave the stuff for you later. You see it's in a nice vacuum pack section, comes apart. The NARC cars are supposed to be pretty highly detailed. They have the actual air hoses here, if you can see it. Let's see. They have an air hose down here as well as the trip pin. So it's kind of different. They have the cutaways. Really tight detailing. Even the handbar. I mean, that handbar is really, really tiny. You can barely see it. Good style lettering. Nice trucks. They're all metal wheels. Doors. No, they don't slide, but they look like they are put on there by one piece so you could take them off. I decided to get a Montana Rail Link. They have those up in BC a lot. You see them around. Here's the A end of the car. Etched metal walkway on it. Again, the actual air hose that goes to it. The other thing that's really cool, you get down here, very, very good details. Down below, you can even see where the air hooks up into the braking system, or the connect or the disconnect comes in to that system. And then the air line system, you can actually see goes along. So really, really nice detailing, cool car. I'll have to weigh it and things like that, but it looks really, really nice. So I'll have all this stuff for you so that you can get in contact with them. They have a website. They are in Canada. However, they charge US prices and they actually mail from the United States. So shipping is a little bit cheaper on average than most of the Canadian stores. Okay, so that was my first stop and my first trip and things that I got there. So let's move on. Next, it was off to Grandview Island in Vancouver. It's kind of an artist community that has a whole bunch of different shops and things like that in it, artisan type shops and all. And you can see a bunch of things. We wound up having lunch there at the main market, which was kind of cool. They have all of these different foods and things that you can go to, kind of like a mall shopping area, the food court thing. We found that really interesting. When we were walking along the island, we also found out that they have an active concrete company there, which was kind of cool. And some of the trucks were even painted up kind of neat, but unfortunately I didn't get some of the pictures of them. One was like corn of the cob and another one was a strawberry. So that was kind of a neat little thing. So next stop was off to Central Hobbies in Vancouver as well. Probably one of my favorite places. Good news is it sounds like they may still be staying open. So as always, I always pick up a bunch of stuff there because they have all these great little detail parts, and I'll leave their link in the area below. They also have a lot of Canadian train engines and stuff. So one of the things that I found was this limited edition Freightliner Day Cab Loves truck, gasoline station. So I thought that would be kind of cool to pick up. I don't have one of the Loves, so that'll be fun. So I know Roy's got about 20 of these, but I don't have that many Loves. But it's a good little truck, so I got it. It was a nice price. Okay, so speaking of trucks, a couple of more things that I got. He still had some decent Super Duties from River Point Station, so I picked up the Super Duty fire truck version and also another police pickup truck, which are kind of nice. So those were good. He still actually had some of those. Another thing that he had, which I had to look for the different prices and all that, was he has these Atlas little trailers. So I picked up two of those. One of them blue, one of them red. One of them is probably going to go to the fire department. The blue one may become a police one. I'm not too sure what I'm going to do with that yet, but they're nice little trailers that they have. Found this laying around, which is kind of cool. It's just a tank. I might wind up using this as my fire department tank that I have to make. It's just a small little faller thing, but it's one of the things that he has in stock. It says it's an oil tank, but you can use it for any type of tank, whatever. Okay, so another thing that I purchased, which I keep purchasing these, and I'm going to get my flat cars at one point in time, but these Detail West log bunks. These are the low height ones. I hadn't seen those before anywhere. So I got those, 2 sets of those for 4 set seats to go on flat cars. And then they also had the log bunks for the taller ones. I know these are for 40 and 50 footers, but you know what? They're going to go on my flat cars that are 68 foot, the newer ones. All I got to do is paint them and put them on. So that's kind of cool. And then last but not least, I decided to finally break down and get the bulk loader from Walters. Let's see, it's this one, the aggregate bins, but you can use it for any type of loads. You can cover it up or whatever. It can just dump into anything that you want. And I kind of figured out that I was going to need those. But like I was saying, one of the good news is that Central Hobbies looks like they might be having a buyer. And so they may actually be around. They might change their locations, but the store is really wonderful and it has a lot of stuff, and it also has an online presence. If you're looking for train engines, harder to get, CN stuff, CP stuff, they've got a lot of it, so I would just go check out their website or give them a call. And I'll list that information down in the description. Okay, our hotel was in downtown Burnaby, right next to the mall called Metrotown. And so we went and took a tour of the mall, and one of the things that we found that was really interesting was the Toys R Us that was still operating. So there were no trains, but of course we found these two things that how much more Canadian could you be? A kick scooter for the snow and a coloring set for snowmen. We, of course, did some other shopping, but nothing to Canada would be complete without a Tim Hortons stop. And so, yes, that's where we got breakfast the second day that we were there. And then we came back across the border. It was fairly easy to get across this time. I just had to go in one time to explain who I was because I've got a common name and I always get caught going across the border. Showed up and came back home, and we have a fragile package that came from factory direct trains. I had ordered this, but it just didn't get here in time for my birthday. So, yes, I already pre-opened it a little bit. Got all of our papers. Got some paperwork. And we wound up getting some more hopper cars. Now, these are a little bit special because they are the General American Marks Company cars, right? But if you look in the upper corner, they got the little kitty cat paw on there. Okay, so these are meant to be in service for cat litter. They're not going to be in service for cat litter on mine, but I'm thinking that these are going to be service for grain, but they might wind up getting themselves little graffiti on it because, you know, I do own cats and they got to be represented on the layout somehow. So that was kind of my haul for the rest of my birthday. I want to thank everybody for watching, and I'll be putting some other stuff out soon, I hope. Some more things that I'm making, and who knows, maybe I'll even go do a run session on my layout if I can find it. Okay, thanks for watching. This is Steve87 saying hit that like button, subscribe, and or send this to your friends. And there's more stuff to come in the future. Bye now.